He thought it was just a sword, until she opened her eyes after 200 years and said, "Give it back." The sword was heavier than it looked. Elias Maren pulled it free from the overgrown altar stone with both hands. Its black steel blade gleamed dully beneath the forest canopy, etched with ancient markings he couldn't read. He wasn't a scholar. He wasn't even supposed to be there. Just a wandering relic hunter, hoping to find enough old tech or forgotten treasure to trade for supplies. He hadn't expected to find a sword, and he definitely hadn't expected what came next. The air turned cold, the wind stilled, and the ground beneath the altar shuddered. Then the stone cracked in two. Elias stumbled back, still holding the sword, as a low hum rose from beneath the earth. The moss peeled away. A second slab, flat, seamless, slid open like a lid. Inside lay a woman. She didn't breathe, didn't move. She looked preserved, skin pale with a faint shimmer, hair like silver threads, armor strange and smooth, wrapped tight around her like an exoshell. Across her chest was a socket, empty, circular, waiting. He looked at the sword in his hand, then at the socket. "You gotta be kidding." But he knelt down anyway, and before he could think twice, he placed the sword inside. It clicked, and she opened her eyes. They were gold. No, not gold, light itself. Twin cores of energy burning into him as if she saw straight through bone and blood. Elias staggered back. The woman sat up with slow, calculated motion. Her limbs were stiff, but precise. Her gaze swept across the trees, the moss, the fractured stone. Then it landed on him. "You removed my blade," she said. Her voice was smooth, but cold, like stone shifting underwater. "I found it," Elias said. "Didn't know it was yours." Her eyes narrowed. "You drew it from its resting point. That makes you its bearer." "I wasn't trying to." "Give it back." He hesitated. "I already did." She stood, and suddenly she was very tall and very armed. "I am called Seris," she said, stretching her limbs. "Guardian of the hollow epic, warden of the last gate. My rest was not meant to end until the sky turned red again." "That's a lot of titles," Elias muttered. Saras turned to him. "Your name?" "Elias." "Elias," she repeated. "You wear no crest, no flame mark. Are you a survivor?" "I'm just a guy looking for old things to sell." Saras blinked slowly. "Then you are not of the bloodline. That complicates matters." "What matters?" She looked skyward. "The war." Elias frowned. "The war ended 200 years ago. Everyone's gone." She said nothing. Then her legs gave way. He caught her before she fell. They sat near a small fire. Elias offered her a nutrient pack. She sniffed it, then set it aside. "This is not food," she said. "It's survival paste. Get used to it." She examined the sword, now resting on her lap. "Do you remember anything?" he asked. "Only fragments," she admitted. "I was wounded in the final siege. My sisters, they fought to protect the vault. One of them must have sealed me inside the altar." Elias shifted. "You were part of the Blade Choir, weren't you?" Her eyes widened slightly. "You know of us?" "Only from ruins. Songs. The last defense line. 13 women with living blades. They say when the gates fell, you all vanished." "Not vanished," she said quietly. "We were buried, to rise if ever needed again. But no one came." Sarah stared into the fire. "No one came," she agreed. Over the next few days, Elias tried to help her regain strength. They scavenged, hiked, traded with caravans. She watched the world with quiet sadness. So much had changed. No more kings. No more empires. Just fractured settlements and small pockets of peace. "This world is tired," she said once. Yeah, Elias replied, but it's still breathing. One night, she woke from a dream and stood over him. I must reclaim the other blades, she said. What? The others like mine. Each member of the choir sealed her sword in a host vault. If I can gather them, I might understand what happened. You want me to help you? You're my bearer, she said, by law and spirit. I gave the sword back. And yet, it returned to your hand. He looked down. The sword was lying beside him. He hadn't moved it. That's not normal. No, she said. It means the sword accepts you. That's not comforting. They journeyed, to ruins swallowed by sand, to temples choked by vines, to a crater where glass still wept from fire centuries past. At each point, a blade was recovered, and with each blade, a memory returned to Saras, her laughter with her sisters, her final orders, the betrayal. There was someone on the inside, she whispered one day, someone who opened the gates. Elias frowned. Why would they do that? Fear, she said, or power. They found the fifth blade beneath a collapsed moon cairn. Seris trembled when she touched it. She died here, she said softly. Genya, my closest kin. She fought until her body failed. She placed the blade gently in the earth again. Why not keep it? Elias asked. It is hers, she replied. Not mine. He looked at her. Not a weapon, not a machine. A woman grieving ghosts. At last, they returned to the altar where she had awakened. The final blade waited in the tree roots below it, buried deep, hidden away like a broken truth. Saras drew it free, then turned to Elias. I remember now. What happened? Her face was calm. We were betrayed, not by outsiders, but by one of our own. Who? She raised a hand and touched his chest. You. Elias froze. What? She looked at him. You were a man then, too. Different face, different voice, but the same spirit. That's not possible. You infiltrated us, lied, gained our trust, and when the moment came, you unlocked the gates. He staggered back. No, I couldn't have. You did. She lifted her sword, but you also stayed behind. You died trying to stop what you started. Why would I do that? Because you remembered too late. And guilt is a powerful force. Elias felt dizzy. Vision swam through his mind. Walls of fire, silver blades clashing, his own voice shouting a name. Her name, Seris. She lowered her weapon. I wanted to hate you, she said. But 2 centuries passed, and you brought me back. I didn't know. You still chose to help. He fell to his knees. I'm sorry. She looked at him for a long time, then stepped forward and placed her blade in his hands. Then walk with me, she said, until the end.